Okay, so we are at screencast number 6, I believe. There's no place like home. So we have our custom header that we have inserted, or you are joining us at the point where you've skipped over the custom header for now and you have a theme and a template that's already been pre-selected from or pre-arranged at Google, and you chose it from that and you're going to use that to meet your needs, at least to practice and maybe to keep in your classroom for good. If it does what you need it to do, then that's awesome. So what we're going to do is just a little bit of a cleanup that really applies to everybody that I really should have said at the end of the last screencast. You can continue to customize things beyond your choice of a template or theme, beyond inserting the custom header. You can go into an area I know I mentioned before under the More Actions cogwheel. If you go down to Manage Site and over to Themes, Colors, and Fonts. I went over this briefly in one of the previous screencasts, telling you that this is a real rabbit hole. You can go into this and does all kinds of things, changes all kinds of colors and that kind of thing. This is what I was talking about. Once you have your custom header ready to go, you can go into the themes, colors, and fonts, and you can play around with how things look. So you can see for the entire page, the background. Oh, stick with the theme if you have that. Or you can select a custom color and then choose. Now, I don't know all of them, but you'll notice, I don't know if you can see it very well, but enter color hex value here. Apparently, well, I learned this at the Google Fest this summer, that there's all kinds of hex numbers for particular hues, and if you know the hex number for something, you can just enter the code for that particular color and it will come up. So let's say you really fall in love with a color and you know the hex color, you can just keep adding it to everything and have it be consistent or uniform if that's what makes you happy. So excuse me, again, end of the day, losing my voice. So just if you were to choose a color, and I'm just really going with anything here, so you can see that that's the background of your site. Now notice that just like in mine, my actual classroom site, it's off a little bit, so the alignment needs to happen there, and like I said, one day I'll get to that. You play around with all of these things, you'll figure it out. The text color, you can change that, you can change the font, you can change the size, you can change what color, if there's a link to click on, what color will that be? What size will the link look? Will it be a large link that someone can see easily? Will it be a smaller link under something? The content area. If I have a background there and I'm choosing something else, where does it go? You know, sorry, these colors clash, but you get the idea. So you can always go in and change things. Now, when we get going to the horizontal navigation, that will become a little bit more important. If I go to my training site number 1, I think this is the site that I have it, you can see that excuse me, my horizontal navigation, I have a tab that has a certain color. You can change the colors of the tabs as you're going through as well. So, you know, there's just tons of things to click on and it changes the color. And honestly, there were times where I just clicked on something and looked at how it changed and decided whether I wanted that or not. Some things I remembered what they did, some things I didn't. And so it's really just a persistence in this section of clicking on things and looking at how that click changed your overall site and how you want it to look. So that's the first thing. So I'm going to go back to the entire page, the background, because I hate that color. I really like maybe a lighter color gray. Let's see. That's better. And then I'm going to go to the content area, and I don't like that glaring yellow, and I would like it to be the lighter color. So I have that, and I like that a lot better. Okay, so then I'm going to hit save. Any changes that you would make to your color areas that are not your custom header, then you're going to want to save those changes. And it'll click you kind of out. You're done. Changes have been saved. And then you're done. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is editing mode. And I realize that we're not getting to the building the horizontal navigation or the sidebar yet. And that's really a purposeful choice because there's some work on the front end that needs to be done here, and that would be, you really need to think like someone who's going to be coming to your site when they land. What do you want them to see right away? If they're coming to your site, what could they be searching for? What information could they be looking to obtain? So when I was building my site, I tried to really keep that person in mind as far as what my horizontal navigation would be, what links and pages would be available underneath. This stuff oftentimes changes, so this is just Bitmoji, and all I did was saved it against a background, took my screenshot, took a picture of it. So just like the edit, the custom header that we did for the site, you can do the same thing with Bitmoji. Same thing with the outdoor learning lab picture that I had here. I took the picture, we took the frame and did all of that all in PicMonkey, saved it as a shot, dropped it in as a digital image. So I had pictures of my home base kids, my language arts team, who are awesome, by the way. So this is our picture, same thing. We had the background, that's all done with PicMonkey. Awesome site. But I tried to think like a person coming here, what would they want to know? Well, there are parents that are accessing my site. There are students that are accessing my site. We want to know, both parents and students, what are we going to be doing for the week? Who might be involved in the language arts team? What types of things are activities or different things do we do in home base? I have a professional development tab, which I really haven't done much with, and I probably should change this up a little bit, but when I come across things that I really want to explore more, I typically drop them in this so that I don't lose track of them. The outdoor learning lab that we're working on at the middle school, we're making progress through that. And we're very excited about that, and I'm really proud to be involved in that. So I like having a tab that kind of keeps people up to date with what's going on with that. I do a blog, not every month, but usually when inspiration hits something that I want to write. I mean, I want to show the kids that I'm a writer. I expect them to write, but I'm a writer too. And when inspiration hits, and I'm writing to them, so they're my audience, so I encourage them to go to that. And a lot of times if I find something, usually it's technology based, that's fun, that's interesting, I'll drop it there. I've really, for lack of a better word, wiped a lot of this clean because I'm still working on things and overturning to new stuff that I'm interested in and that I would like to put in. So unfortunately, if you were to click on my home base, there's nothing there right now because I wiped that clean. So yeah, but there are some things here that, you get the idea. Think like who's going to come to your site. So the home page, you would want probably some type of identifying information, contact information, that kind of thing. And decide what works for you. If you're a teacher and you're doing your classroom website, what do you want people to know about your site? If you are an administrator, what do you want parents and students to know about your building? That kind of thing, and you're all in different places and putting different things in, so I'll leave that up to you to decide what works for you. And then we'll work on inserting some different things so that you can see how that works. And then I think because the screencast is getting a bit long, that we will work with building the horizontal navigation and side navigation in a different web page, just so that you can see, or I'm sorry, not web page, screencast, so that you can see how that works for you.